All right, y'all. How y'all doing? This is another episode of Oh Charlie Please. And I know I told y'all that I wasn't gonna do these weekly, but let me tell you how I gotta pump this episode out because life about to get real crazy for me. But before I do that, I must say that this is Oh Charlie Please, the podcast where it's faith first and shade second. Okay. So, y'all, I just finished up my last class of the semester for grad school. And babe, when I tell you, truth is I'm tired. Options been few, okay? Options have been few. But I am glad I have a month break. And within this month, y'all, your girl gotta move. Your girl gotta pack and move. Thank God I'm only going up the street. Thank God it's only 3 minutes up the road because Charlie ain't moving far. That's too much like right. But I'm gonna take this week to just start packing little by little. I got a friend helping me, and baby, we gonna make it do what it do. Okay, so that's why y'all get another episode back to back. I know I said these won't come frequently, but it's like, listen, by the time I get through unpacking all that stuff in a new spot, y'all ain't gonna have an episode probably for another 2-3 weeks. So let me get it while the getting is good, honey. This is episode 10. And, I want to talk about something that I continuously see, especially in this book community. I want to talk about those words, girls, girl. Where have all the girls gone? Okay. We always see that, people are calling themselves a girl's girl or, they're referring to other people as girls. And I love that for y'all. I do. I love that for y'all. But I've never called myself a girl's girl. I have never called myself a girl's girl, a friendly person, a nice person, none of that. Because honestly, I just think that shit performative. I ain't gonna hold you. And the women that I've come across that claim they're girls are really fucking mean girls. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like when you have to scream that you're a girls, that shit becomes performative. And it's like I see through that shit. I see through it. And I feel like this too. You can't be a quote unquote girl's girl if you're only nice to the people you know. Like, are you really a girl's girl or are you just cool with the people you fucking with? I tell people that I'm kind. I do have a kind heart, but I'm not nice. I'm not too friendly. I like to kiki or whatever, but I set my boundaries very early, very upfront about who I am. I'm cool. I like the kiki, but I don't do the performative stuff. I just, you know, um, and I feel like a lot of times in this space, that's what's happening. It's let me act like I'm a girl's girl. Let me get this performative support. So, I won't seem like I'm a dry faced, hating ass heifer. You know what I'm saying? Or you're linking with people only to show that, oh, I am in solidarity with you. I'm like, do you really like this person? Or do you see she popping because she got them 10,000 followers and people know if y'all cool, they're going to be cool with you too. Things that make you go, But, nonetheless, I will continue to support people in this space and others when I see them doing the thing. Um, and I don't mind it. I don't mind giving people they props or they shout outs. I don't think I have to label myself a girls to do that. I just think I'm a decent fucking human being and I like to see people shine outside of myself. I don't have to put a label to that. That's just me being a decent human being who's kind and who loves to support other people. So much so, I did a thing this week. If you're following me on Substack, I made a comprehensive list of Black Bookish podcasts that I support in this space. And I did it because people know about Refined and Ratchet, the podcast I have with my best friend Isha. People now know about Oh Charlie Please, right? I just feel like I'm in the space to spread that love for two reasons. Number one, I don't want to be the only one being the only one. And it's getting to the point that, we're getting called for things, emailed about things, and they're like, oh, we want Refine and Ratchet. We want Refine and Ratchet at this book event. We want Refine. And I love that for us, right? Because we're only year one. We just made our year. But I don't want to be the only one being the only one. For starters, I don't want to get burnt out because that's a real thing. And for two, I don't want overexposure. I don't want to get to the point 1 minute y'all love and refined and ratchet or oh Charlie Please, and the next is like, damn, them again. Y'all couldn't find nobody else. So to show that I was a decent human being and not a girls, I compiled a list on Substack and said Black Bookish podcasts deserve more recognition, and I told why. And I won't go into that. That's one of those reads. I have to go into the Substack Plot Twist Charlie and read that. But it's a lot of podcasts, that bookish podcasts, that have been doing their thing in this space for a long time. And I don't remember the young lady's name, but she's a part of the Good Caught Up podcast. And she said, not that we needed it, not that we needed somebody to tell us to keep going, but thank you for acknowledging that we've been here. We've been at this for 5 years and we've never got recognition like that. Do you know how crazy that sounds? You've been in a space for 5 years with a podcast that caters to authors, narrators, book club founders, whatever, and you've been ahead of the curve for 5 years and you haven't gotten that recognition. So, yeah. So, again, that's not me performing an act of being a girl's girl. That's just me being a decent ass human being that love to show love to show support, and love to give people their flowers and they just do. And I really, really do hope that some big time publisher or somebody sees that list and want to do something with it, because it is some dope podcasts on there. There's She Well Read. There's Get Caught Up podcast, A Book and a Cigar podcast, Two Pretty Best Friends podcast, and these just the ones I can name off the top. Pink Riot comic show when my girls Keisha and Bree. It's like you got so much to choose from. So if that, performing an act like that makes you a girl's girl, whatever, but I really want that term to die. I just think, again, it's so performative. I don't think it's genuine. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this in a different space, but I feel like if you have to announce what you are not really that. So there's that. The other thing is I want to talk about is Arthur's notes. So if you're not following Arthur Nicole's Falls, shame on you. Shame on you. She is hilarious and I love her. I met her at Black Book Bash this year, but we've been following each other on Threads and other socials since I got in this space. And she made a thread that's basically like, hey, Arthur, y'all cool? Because I've been looking at some of them Arthur notes and y'all been slamming out, right? And I want to ask the question, are Arthur's notes getting to be a bit egregious? Like I said, Arthur Nicole Falls brought it to the forefront, but I've been seeing a few of these authors get that shit off. And honestly, I am not mad at it. I think it's better than the trigger warnings, because I think authors, because they have a brand to protect, they can't really say, F you, you did whatever. It's like, look here, you bald head, tack head heifer. Here's what my book about. Here's what to expect. And I don't want to hear no lip about it. Now, I will say some of the authors, author notes are hilarious. I am definitely here for a good kiki, but some of them author notes feel like direct shots and personal fuck yous. Okay. But I get why they doing it. Like, they tired. They so tired. So, you know what? Hell yeah to these authors that want to be upfront about what to expect, and go to hell if you don't like it. I really love the fact that they are taking ownership of their brand. And it's like, look, you bought this book and you get what you get and you don't throw a damn fit. So you can decide right here, page 1, after the damn index, if you're going to stick around. Okay? And I love that for them. Oh, y'all. Okay. I'll books for a little bit, right? Some of my favorite people in, the pop culture world. 2 of my favorite people are Tamar Rectus and Funky Dineva. I have been following them since the inception of their careers, right? And when he and Tamar first linked up, I'm not gonna hold you. I said, baby, this ain't gonna end well. But let's just for shits and giggles, let's see where it go. So unless you've been living under a rock or you just had your head too far in the damn book, a month ago or two ago, Tamar and Funky Dineva went back and forth on social media. And Funky Dineva was like, listen, you basically are lying on me saying I left you in an environment where you were unsafe and you woke up from being unconscious with all your teeth out your head. So they got over that and it was cool. One thing about Funky Dineva, girl ain't gonna lie. Or I don't know what she identifies as. I'm sorry if it's girl, man, whatever. I can't keep up with the pronouns. And Funky Dineva, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry. Let me just tell you I'm sorry up front. So the bullshit kicked off again when Funky Dineva was like, basically, I'm tired of you. Now, allegedly, Funky Dineva is claiming that he has been around Tamar Braxton and Mendices, which is Yandy from Love and Hip Hop husband on screen because, they ain't really married. He was like, baby, they doing more than being a co-star in a video together, baby. They holding hands and making plans and they kissing all on each other's neck. And, they making the goo-goo gaga eyes. And, baby, Funky Dineva spilled tea. Now, allegedly, Funky Dineva say that he has witnessed them being too close for comfort. And I just want to say, I believe him. Let me tell you why. If you don't understand Funky Dineva's story or who this person is, you got to understand that they going to put it all out there. He going to put it all out there, right? This man has literally told us that, baby, I have done cocaine in a corner by myself like a rich white woman. And I just feel like if you can admit some shit like that to people, you ain't going to care about nothing else in life, right? I don't think he lying. I think Tamar at times displays bird-ass behavior. Like that mess she did with the verses with her and Birdman up there, baby. She wiping the towel, using the towel to wipe the sweat off his forehead, twerking. Like, baby, at the tender age of 50, attention should not move you. You should not be out here moving like that. And I didn't take this far. People like, oh, she wiping Birdman, she head, she sleeping with her sister husband. And I didn't even take that far. I just think as a woman that's 50, who has been in the limelight at least for the past 20 years, you're moving like you're 15 and you're just happy to be there. Sorry, not sorry. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't think Funky Dineva lying, child. So we gonna see. Another thing he did, he said, Tamar, you're just common. You're common. That was what he said on his podcast. You're common. He said, you're a common bitch from Baltimore that just so happened to know how to sing. Baby, you could have bought me for goddamn length that day. Let me tell you something. I hope and I pray I never make somebody like Funky Dineva, and which I'm going to call, or the LGBTQIA community. I hope I got that right. I hope and I pray I never make one of them mad. Because, baby, the way they be reading down, will make you question your whole existence. The way that man read Tamar on that podcast and got quiet, he said, while you up there, lady husband, you common. You just a common-ass trick that just so happened to sing. And from Baltimore, even your voice can't get you out of... Oh, baby, he went in. I was just like, ooh, child. But, Tamar done got her lawyers involved. And, they trying to sue for defamation. And, baby, it's a whole thing. Y'all got to go to Funky Dineva's YouTube page. Look it up. It's entertaining. And, again, I don't think he lying. That's just me, though. I've been wrong before. Back to the books real quick. Because y'all know these episodes ain't long. Oh, but wait a minute. Before I get to the books, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the diddler, a.k.a. Diddy Boots, a.k.a. Mr. Take That. Child, now, I know y'all didn't watch that documentary that 50 Cent did produce with the Netflix, baby. Let me say this. I knew it was bad with Sean Puffy Combs, baby, I just didn't know it was that damn bad. And I will say two things could be true at the same time. Do I think 50 Cent is the pettiest motherfucker that we know on this side of the Mississippi? Absolutely. But do I also think that people should have took a deeper dive into who this man was for the past 30 plus years in his business? And maybe had they had done that, the outcome of that case would have been different? Yes, I do. So I watched a 4 part documentary, and a lot of this I had already knew, right? I knew about the celebrity basketball game he put on, how the people got trampled. I knew about how Sean took that charge for him back in the gap because, Sean was young and dumb because I'm not, and the deal he made with Diddy was allegedly that he would do 10 years in jail for $1 million. Even back in the early 2000s, late 90s, there wasn't a lot of money to do 10 years, right? So I had already kind of knew that. I knew about his history with, Kim Porter and how he used to, allegedly beat her. The same thing with his first baby mama, Misa, how he would allegedly beat her. The thing I did not know that Bad Boy was started with someone else. I did not know that this man, when he started that company, put that company in his mother's name, 75% of it, and the co-owner only got 25%. And to find out that he allegedly, and I have to keep saying allegedly because I don't know who's gonna hear this, baby. Charlie ain't got no money. I ain't got a piece of a coin. I ain't even got 2 red cents to rub to get us, so baby, you ain't gonna get me. But allegedly, he put that company in 75% of the stake of that company in his mother's name because he did not want to pay the victims that died at their celebrity basketball game. And if that's true, that's really fucked up. I ain't gonna hold you. That's fucked up. That's real fucked up. The guy who he started Bad Boy with, the fact that he only took 25% lets me know that people are willing to do and accept anything as long as they're connected to something that they feel is great. I will also say that people would always make the joke that, oh, once you sign a death row, it's a life sentence or whatever. But I have been saying for years, I know at least for the past 10, 15 years, that y'all should have been looking at Bad Boy a long time ago. If you have not noticed, throughout Bad Boy's history, every artist that has signed to the Diddler either ends up broke, in jail, or unalived. You cannot name one successful solo act or one successful group act that he has had under that label. Not even his fucking sons. Okay? And that is very telling of somebody. And I never would understand why they would always say, oh, Diddy is the epitome of black excellence. He's getting all these awards. Now, again, 2 things could be true. Was he very intricate to music and the way we show culture, the way we dress, the way we act? Of course. However, you're a dirtbag. I remember being in high school. That's when he had this second wave of artists when he was signing like a Young Jock, with Bad Boy South. He had Cassie, and I remember saying then, because again, I'm a person that's always kept up with pop culture and what's going on. I remember hearing that Cassie had signed a 10-album deal. Now, love Cassie down. Beautiful girl. Gorgeous girl. Cassie not even a 2-album artist. Right? Even when Destiny's Child and all the earlier acts of the nights like Monica and Brenda down him, the major record labels would probably sign them maybe 3, 4, 5 albums at best, but that's only if they could prove they could move 500,000 units or more in a week, right? If you want moving numbers like that in the record industry, you want getting them type of deals, right? But I bring that up to say that man always had a plan for that woman. To sign somebody at 19 to a 10-album deal is fucking crazy. So that means even if she tried to leave, financially she could not. And no other major label is going to take on an artist and pay out 10 albums to their previous record company. Now, back in the day, say if you want to leave Jive Records and go to I don't know, Arista, and you had 2 albums left with Jive, Arista would buy you out because they was like, you know what, Charlie moved, 10 million units under her old label. She still got fame. People still like her. We know she gonna sell some more. So yeah, we'll buy her out of that. Who in the hell was gonna buy Cassie out of 10 albums? That again, that let me know right then that man always had a plan for that woman. And when you're young and you're naive and you're standing next to this larger life person who has made the promise to not only change your life but to actually change your life, you will sign something like that, right? So just knowing that was just crazy. Also, the whole Tupac and Biggie thing, and people have been saying that for years because, come on now, after they leave this earth, now you the biggest artist on the planet. Boy, get your Diddy bopping ass on somewhere. So there's that. I just thought all that was interesting. The next thing I want to talk about, so Sunday, I had the privilege of linking up with some other content creators in the space. And Rochelle Mullins, if you're not following her, her name is Arshell Lynn on Instagram and TikTok. She is an aspiring literary agent. She's taking on authors as clients, and she's building like a business to help content creators, influencers help strategize their content and come up with business purposes and all that. And I'm so glad that I joined that call. It came at a time where I was just kind of wondering what I wanted to do with my platform, how I wanted to show up going forward. And one of the questions she asked was like, when people see your content, why do you think they're watching, and what is the brand that you can sell them? And I said, honestly, when it comes to me, I think people like my content or deal with my content is because I always say the quiet part out loud. And baby, did that get the call going? Baby, the girl saw that, like, yeah, Charlie, you do. Because I'm always going to be the person that say the quiet part out loud. I'm always going to be the person going to say what everybody else is thinking, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'll deal with the consequences later, right? But that's just me. And I think that reflects in my content. So I got that part right. Gold star for Charlie, right? The next thing she asked was, name 3 pillars of your content and how it resonates with people, how you feel about it. So everybody got like, oh, I do graphics. Oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at that. And this part had me stumped, right? So she was like, well, Charlie, what about you? And I was like, Rochelle, honestly, I just pick up my phone and start yapping. There's no rhyme or reason to my content. I don't really have a niche per se. It's not aesthetically pleasing. A lot of it is very fucking random, but it works for me because that's who I am. And she was like, you know what? Glad you said that. She said, yapping is content. She said, so your 3 pillars, for what I can see from you, just talking to you, your 3 pillars are yapping, podcasting, and community building. And it made me think like, damn, okay. And she got the breakdown. She was like, Charlie, when you talk, people listen. You do an amazing job with your podcast. That's something that you really need to tap into because you're really great at it. And you're really good at building community. You're really good at putting people together in a space and bringing them closer. Even if it's not for a shared common interest, you know how to put a good group of people together. And not that I needed that, but sometimes just hearing what you can do on the tongues of others can really do something for you. And I walked away from that meeting with Rochelle and the other ladies feeling like, okay, I can do anything. And it was about 14 of us in there, right? It was really good. Rochelle is a former educator and school administrator, so she had it very thought out, very well curated. It wasn't just us showing up the gap about what we wanted to. Like, we was really in a session. And she was so personable. She was taking notes. It was really good. So I'm telling y'all now, again, follow Arshell Lynn on TikTok and Instagram. I think that is a great start for people who's looking to level up. She said she's gonna do some more stuff with us, but I just thought it was absolutely effing awesome. So shout out to you, Rochelle. I know that wherever you're going in this literary space is gonna be great. You are respected and a trusted source in this space, and I cannot wait to see where your brand and where your business goes. So yeah. Okay, yeah. Another thing is I've had to realize in this book space that I've become sensitive to the environment, and I need to move in a way that's more careful. Um, and that leads to me deactivate my threads. I don't know when I'm gonna come back, if I can, if I want to come back, if I have a desire to. But I'm the type of person that when I feel like everything is getting on my nerves, I'm like, you know what? You stay right here. I'll leave. And I find myself getting like that. I find myself that every time I scrolled, I'm rolling my eyes at something. And it's necessarily nobody has done anything to me at all. But I'm so tired of seeing certain conversations. I'm tired of seeing certain people. I'm tired of the same topics being talked about on there. I'm just, again, truth is I'm tired and the options has been effing few. So I deactivated my threads and it has done wonders for my mental space. I've made the conscious decision to not do content or post content to the beginning of the year. I am staying my ass in a reader's place. And I think it's needed. Not on top of that, I've just been experiencing a creative burnout. I don't really have a lot. Like, I just want to read and just talk about it amongst my friends. I don't want to read, put together content, post it, keep up with the likes, how they get. I don't want to do any of that right now. I simply just want to read and enjoy the fact that I'm reading. And speaking of what I'm reading or what I'm listening to Sinful Vow by Asia Monique. That is I think right now, at least for now, it's a 7-part book and all of it is on Hoopla. And baby, I am so happy. And this is my first listen or book by her. So I'm real excited. I'm caught up in it already because it's a black mafia romance, arranged marriage. And the FMC is a boss ass bitch. She's not no powdered princess and they married her off. No, none of that. FMC is a boss ass bitch and husband who big boss Italian black mafia man has met his match. And baby, I'm on chapter 4 listening to it and it's going to be a time. It's going to be a fucking time. So, I was supposed to be taking a break anyway and reducing my access, which I was doing good with that, but baby, I didn't have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So, oh yeah, we almost at 30 minutes, child. Well, we at 27. The last thing I leave with is, baby, that white man being upset that the authors was posting their KDP sales. And I just want to say this, Mr. White Man, Mr. Crack Whore, Mr. Flower Ranger, Mr. Mayo Man. How is you cool? One thing I can't stand is no pocket watching ass shit, okay? Especially when it comes to these indie authors, especially when it comes to black indie authors. What you got to understand is when they post them KDP sales reports or it ain't to flex. It's to be like, God damn it, I made it. Because we ain't gonna act like the system over there already ain't fucked up. Okay? They already paying you a half a stick, a trident layer gum, and you can been had over 1 million pages read. So when people do stuff like that to diminish what other people are doing, that shit, it chaps my ass. So he said that like people supposed to agree with him, and it's like, no, you can really go to hell. These people sit up here and write a book. They put it out there to the world. They're hoping and they're praying that somebody read it. And when one somebody read it, they hope that it tells another somebody to read it. And baby, if it take off like wildfire, then damn it, it's up. I don't care. Pop y'all shit. Y'all fucking deserve, especially if you're a black indie author in this space. They do not do y'all right. They do not treat y'all right. And y'all are really making pennies on the dollar when it comes to that program. So if you can amass the amount of money, whether it's life changing or not, if you can amass the amount of money for work that you're putting out there, then bet you by golly wow, goddamn it, post it. Cause baby, I promise you, when these podcast checks start picking up, I'm posting all them goddamn metrics across Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Amazon, baby, anywhere you can listen to this motherfucker. Okay? Stop doing this. Stop trying to shit on people. And again, Mr. White Man, you can go to hell. Hell. Anyway. Well, child, I think that's 30 minutes. It is 30 minutes. I just want to thank y'all again for rock with me on another episode of Oh Charlee Please, where it's faith first, shade second. Do remember I'm on Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. I think I'm about to take this thing to Amazon Podcast, and I'm about to take it to YouTube. But the YouTube won't be visual, at least not yet. It's just gonna be the podcast on there. But I enjoy doing these. And I think while I'm on break from my content, I'm going to focus more on this little solo podcast and on my Substack. So if you want to figure out what I'm doing and how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking, please go to one of those two platforms. But right now, I ain't got nothing for the TikTok, for the Instagram or the Facebook, baby. Auntie Tired. I want to thank y'all so much for rocking with me again. And y'all enjoy y'all nights. Bye.